On an all-new Buffy,
What's wrong with you?
I'm more powerful than I've ever been.
a force grows within Riley.
Riley's in trouble.
One that Buffy cannot trust
This feeling is going to kill you.
This is my deal, Buffy. Back off.
or control.
Riley!
An all-new Buffy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Slade, the Buffyverse Revisited. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
And James is trying to start a fire, rubbing two sticks together. This week, we will be jumping into Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 5, Episode 4, Out of My Mind. Out of my motherfucking mind up in here.
Out of my mind. Yes, we will be doing that.
We will be doing
This
that,
week.
in fact, as James reiterates. How you doing, James? What's going on? It feels like I haven't seen you in like 20 minutes.
I'm all right. I'm pretty good. I just, someone mentioned to me earlier today that they had raspberry Danish,
Uh-huh.
and that started a craving deep within my soul for raspberry Danish.
Okay.
So I ran out earlier today and I bought raspberry Danish.
Uh-huh.
And while I was waiting for you just now,
Uh-huh.
I ate some raspberry Danish.
Okay. Could you say
And-
raspberry Danish 2 to 3 more times?
And let me tell you, that raspberry Danish was so good. And it really reminded me of how much I enjoy raspberry Danish.
So later
And-
on, when we're done recording, you may, in fact...
I
Have a-
not even may, in fact, I will definitely have some more raspberry Danish.
Well, raspberry Danish me right up the ass. So that's cool though. I do enjoy some raspberry Danish myself. I like just about every kind of Danish, honestly.
Do you like? Do you? I was just while I was eating my raspberry Danish, I read an article about Wendy's is finally expanding the Frosty lineup. They're gonna have like mix-ins and swirls now that you can add. So like you get like caramel swirl or like Oreo mix-ins or strawberry swirl, which is I love strawberry. So, but it made me think about blizzards.
Yeah.
What is your favorite kind of blizzard, Jeremy?
My favorite
I'm curious.
blizzard is an M&M blizzard.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the Frosty thing.
Oh, I didn't ask.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just fuck myself. All right.
Good.
Let's
As
just
previously
take-
stated, we'll be diving into Buffy the No.
I'm fine. We can dive in.
No. What are your thoughts on the Frosties?
I just think leave the Frosty the fuck alone. Like just leave it as it's always been. Like you're not fucking Dairy Queen, Wendy's. If people want all that shit in their shit, they can take their happy ass to fucking Dairy Queen or any other number of ice cream specialty places. Or if you are just dead set intent on doing that, create another line of here's our ice cream stuff. Like leave the fucking Frosty alone. The Frosty's been the Frosty for 736 and a half years. So just leave the fucking Frosty alone. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Like their most recent Frosty was the Thin Mint Frosty. That was pretty good. Right before that, they had a limited edition salted caramel Frosty. That was really good. I'm always a fan of the strawberry Frosty when they bring it back, usually in the summertime for limited edition. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it. And of course, I mean, listen, I'm the only one brave enough to say it, but everyone knows vanilla Frosty is better than chocolate Frosty. So
You're the only one weird enough to say that, yeah.
no, I'm the only one brave enough. Everyone thinks it. I'm the only one brave enough to say it. Okay.
You definitely do come across as super vanilla. So we'll just leave it at that.
Okay. My safe word is arugula.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so that doesn't surprise. That doesn't even. I'm not even remotely surprised by that, honestly.
I'm just not a huge fan of chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think we know you're the Antichrist. I think we've established that with your culinary palate. So,
Dude, you have no idea my culinary palate. Just because I don't like
we know enough to know that you are utterly fucking insane.
No, afraid not.
We do. Anyway, why don't you boringly cook us up some dates and deets? Vanilla with no fucking meat sauce.
I am a very good cook. I will have you know.
I'm not speaking to that. I'm simply saying you bore me.
Would you like to see my spice drawer? I can promise you there's more than just salt and pepper in there.
Well, I'm just saying you're the Antichrist. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you don't enjoy, whatever it is you're into that you like cooking. I'm just saying you're the Antichrist. That's all I'm saying.
Chocolate's overrated is all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
So. Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Vanilla is so it's
vanilla.
It's a nice clean palette and canvas to add additional things to. Is all I'm saying.
No argument there. Like if I'm going to eat, let's say I'm going to eat ice cream at home. I'm going to have a bowl of ice cream at home. Okay. I prefer to start with vanilla. And then I add chocolate syrup and fucking nuts and whipped cream and all. And so, yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily want to start with chocolate when you're going to add all that stuff in there. But I mean,
right.
If we're talking about a Frosty or even let's just say a shake from McDonald's or something, if you're ordering vanilla, you're the Antichrist.
Shakes, for the most part, I will always go strawberry if it's available.
Well, I will always go, honestly, banana if they have it, but that's not a super, I know I can get it at Steak and Shake, which you probably don't know what Steak and Shake is.
Dude, I know exactly what Steak and Shake is. I am the product of Steak and Shake.
Oh, you were made there?
I was my mom and my dad met working for Steak and Shake.
Okay, right on. Oh, that's right, because you're in Illinois. Yeah, because it's an Indiana, Illinois. There's only 4 states that have it. We're all here in the Midwest, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They were down in Florida at one point too, because that's where my mom was living at the time when she was working for them, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to be aggressively expanding into Illinois. Are you interested in going to Illinois and opening locations?" And she said yes. And at the same time, my dad was living in Indiana, or was he in Ohio at that point? He was in Ohio at that point, just outside of Cincinnati, working for Steak and Shake as well. And they approached him saying, "Hey, we're aggressively expanding into Illinois. Would you be interested in going up there and opening some stores?" And he did. And that's how they met.
I wonder if they had been aggressively, well, they were probably already, because they've been here since the 50s or was it the 60s? Anyway, they've been here for a long fucking time. So, that's probably why they didn't have an opportunity to come here, because I'm sure they were all already open here. So they had to go to Shitanoy and open something there.
But there's a place right down the road from me called Nana's Hot Dogs, and they have I
love hot dogs, man.
And they have a pineapple shake that is phenomenal. It's the only place I know of that does a pineapple shake.
I'm a little careful with pineapple, because sometimes pineapple can be phenomenal, and sometimes they over pineapple it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like
I don't know if that's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah. So Like, in other words, I like pineapple stuff like that, like a pineapple shake, but I would want it to be not soup, like like I don't want to be chewing it up. And
Right.
like,
I get you. I get you.
where it's like, oh my God, this is so pineapple. I can smell it from across the room, So
Yeah. So I will if I will do the pineapple shake at Nana's. Otherwise, most places I'll go strawberry if it's available. I don't know. Frosty for me, it's vanilla. I don't know why I prefer it to the chocolate. It's better for dipping your fries in my opinion. So
what the fuck? Who dips their French fries in ice cream?
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
Tons
not.
of people dip their French fries in their Frosties. This is a known thing.
I hate all of you. Everyone that does that, I just want you to know, if you listen to this show and you are an ice cream French fry dipper, I fucking hate you. And I don't want you to listen to our show anymore. I'm gonna
Like
say
this
that.
is like dipping your French fries in your Frosty is a known thing.
I'm not saying you're wrong or that's not. I'm just saying that's fucking nasty.
And then just ice cream in general. Like if I'm doing a sundae, I'm going straight vanilla ice cream because, like I said, it's a
If you're
nice
doing
clean
sundae,
palate.
if you're doing a sundae or a banana split,
Right.
something like it's got to be vanilla because you're putting all that other stuff on it. If you start with chocolate, that's just too much. So yeah, I'm with you there.
If I'm going non-sundae ice cream, I'm probably trying to find something cherry,
Okay.
some sort of cherry ice cream, or mint chocolate chip.
Okay, what if you're at like I don't know, like some type of a buffet restaurant, okay? And they have,
Vanilla.
well, what if they have the swirl that's vanilla
No.
and chocolate? Oh, see
No.
now. I'll go with a swirl. If it's just plain, like I'm just eating ice cream, then I want a little. I don't want pure chocolate, but I want a chocolate taint tickle in there.
Yeah. No, not a fan of the swirl either.
Okay, well, I
So,
think we've well
but,
established you are in fact Antichrist.
I'm also a fan of a good pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, I hate pistachios, period.
Hmm.
And I hate like pistachio pudding, just eating pistachios. I'd rather throw myself out of a tall building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan.
That would be some sort of cherry ice cream. Like if we're just talking straight ice cream, non-sundae, some sort of cherry ice cream, mint chocolate chip, and then a good pistachio.
In fact, I read an article about a year ago, maybe more now, that it was actually about like tree nut allergies and stuff, or just nut allergies in general. But then it somehow went off into the weeds about. Anyway, long story short, pistachios were ranked last amongst nut lovers.
Interesting.
Most people don't like. There's not as many people, I guess, in other words, that like pistachios as opposed to other nut-based products. So
Interesting.
Because apparently there's a certain DNA trait you can have where like cilantro, you have a strong aversion to cilantro. You can have a strong aversion to pistachio and a couple of other things. And supposedly I have a strong aversion to cilantro, but it's not true because I like cilantro. So
see, I don't like cilantro. Like I like
it enough that I will actually do it like a rail of cocaine. I will snort it.
But you also like extra pulp in your orange juice.
So. Oh yeah, dude! If it hasn't got a head of at least an inch of pulp on top of the OJ, it's not OJ. It's flavored orange drink. That's what it is.
That's disgusting. Once they discovered they could make no pulp orange juice, they should have discontinued every other variety.
Well, that's because it's not actually orange juice. They didn't discover anything. They just discovered they could make like fake bullshit like Sunny Delight and call it orange juice.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
It's okay to be wrong. We've established that.
Wait, what did you say before that? What were we talking about before? I said that about pulp.
We were podcasting.
No, you said like immediately before I said something about the pulp. You said because I don't remember now. It was something else you liked that I think is weird, but that's okay. But I don't remember what it was now. Fuck. Oh well.
Illinois weirdos. That's all I know. Go ahead. Oh, but I did forget. I didn't get this in earlier, man. But I love a good hot dog. I mean, love it. You were talking about you had a Nana.
Yeah, it's called Nana's. Yeah,
Nanas.
It's in the Vienna Beef Hall of Fame.
Well, I love hot dogs. I mean, not like any old willy-nilly, but like a good fucking like a ballpark from the baseball park or like a place that specializes in hot dogs and a corn dog, man. Corn dogs are fire too. Come on.
I mean, I'm not a huge hot dog lover, but every once in a while I'll get a craving, and Nana's is usually where I'll go.
Yeah, like get a big corn dog, man. Dip it in some mustard. Shit, have some curly fries on the side, man.
Or if I can get to Gene and Jude's, I'll go to Gene and Jude's.
Yeah,
that's a big one here in Chicago. But anyway, let's dive into Out of My Mind, the 4th episode of the 5th season of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and our 82nd episode of the series overall. Our credited writer is Rebecca Rand Kirshner, and our director this week is David Grossman. Our original air date was October 17th, 2000 on the now defunct WB network. Our regular cast, as always, includes Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Nicholas Brendan as Xander, Allison Hannigan as Willow, Mark Blucas as Riley, Emma Caulfield as Anya. Put that sign down. Put it down. Michelle Trachtenberg as Dawn, James Marsters as Spike, and Anthony Stewart Head as Giles. Our guest stars this week include Mercedes McNabb as Harmony, Bailey Chase as Graham, Charlie Weber as Ben, Time Winters as Dr. Overheiser, Amber Benson as Tara, Christine Sutherland as Joyce, Eric Betts as Agent Brown, and Christopher Leps as Agent Goodman. Our Nielsen rating this week, 3.4, dropping it to 84 out of 128 primetime shows airing across the networks that week, and maintaining its 4th spot out of the 17 primetime shows airing on the CW that week. My synopsis.
Do you think that could be because people now we're now 4 episodes in, people are realizing what the fuck, it's a bunch of fucking filler crap. Like, I don't need to watch next week because it's probably not going to be anything important.
I think that has something to do with it. I would venture to say, yeah. I mean, like we talked about last week, we're 4 seasons in now, and you've established that you're a show that works best at telling season-long, arcs. And now we're 3 episodes into the 5th season, and we've established nothing yet.
Not other than the appearance of the mysterious Dawn.
Right.
But even that has not been in any way like fleshed. It's just she's here.
Right. And even the one thing that was laid out for us in the season premiere, the idea of Buffy learning more about the Slayer heritage, hasn't been followed up now for 2 episodes.
All she did was like not even that long, like a 5-minute little scene where she's doing Yoda and Luke Skywalker, and literally, and that was the cold open even, and it only lasted like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah. So I do think that plays a part in it. My synopsis this week reads: when an ailing Riley goes into hiding, Buffy turns to Spike for help, but he takes advantage of her plight to further his own plot to eliminate her.
Okay. Well, mine reads, while Riley comes out of the closet as a raging homosexual. Wait a minute. I'm reading the wrong thing. Sorry. Mine reads, While Riley's health begins to deteriorate, Spike and Harmony force a surgeon to remove the behavior modification chip embedded in Spike's brain.
Okay.
I think both of ours were a little better this week than they had.
I think I like mine more this week because I feel like yours gives away too much.
Agreed.
That would be my only complaint about yours.
Agreed.
So we open with Buffy patrolling one of Sunnydale's numerous cemeteries, and she makes quick work of a few new vampires. And when I say quick work, I mean like staking them before they're even out of the fucking ground.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Riley shows up, unexpected to both of them, actually. She's surprised to see him, and he says she thought she was patrolling the North Sector. Is that what he says? I believe he says.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, I thought you'd be in the North Sector." And she's like, Since when did I have sectors? I'm the fucking sector."
And then Riley makes quick work of a vampire, like he throws this fucking vampire like a goddamn rag doll.
Yeah, like up in the air, up on almost onto the roof of a mausoleum.
Yeah, I was kind of like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, I missed something. Did he get magic superpowers or something?
Right, like did he start rejuicing with Walsh's super soldier serum from last season? Like, what's going on here? At that point, Spike also makes an unexpected and unwelcome appearance.
And he's naked for some reason. I never did figure that out. He is
butt naked, except for that damn leather trench coat.
And he does have one sock on.
Yeah, just on his hand, though.
On his hand, exactly.
It's so fucking weird.
It's so weird. I never did figure. No one even mentioned it.
They don't even mention it. And then, like, as if those two things weren't weird enough, he's literally in like half vamp face.
Yep.
And I don't mean like Two-Face style, like split down the middle. I mean like he's just got like just the brow ridges, but everything else is fine.
Yeah.
Like no vamp teeth, no yellow eyes, just like the half brow bridges. He's
like, whoa, you guys caught me mid masturbation. This is what it's like when a vampire.
Right. This is what it is. Like, just deal with it, okay, guys?
Yep.
And then he's like, "Do you mind if I finish?" And he just starts to go to town on himself.
And he's staring them, Riley in particular, directly in the eyes.
Right in his fucking eyes. He's just like,
he's just like looking around like,
right.
He's totally creeped out, but he can't move. He's like frozen.
Right. He's like almost in terror.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Riley's looking around weird. And as soon as Riley breaks eye contact, Spike's like, "No, you look at me. You look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me. Yeah. Swear to me.
Swear to me." And Riley's like, "What?" And he's like, never mind.
Never mind. Just forget it. There's something wrong with us, my friend. We are.
You're just now figuring that out?
There's something. Seriously. Man, I don't even know why anybody would listen to this.
Only other people who are also mentally deranged would listen to us.
So yeah, Spike shows up and he's unexpected and unwanted, and Buffy starts to berate him for showing up and whatnot, and then he notes the fact that because as Buffy is chastising Spike, Riley chimes in, and Buffy gives Riley a look, and Spike's quick to be like, "Oh, I saw that. I'm not the only one that's not wanted around here." And so Buffy tells Spike to stay out of her way, and then her and Riley leave.
But it's kind of like, is he really in your way? I mean, it's a big graveyard, and there's many of them. Like he
Right.
just happened to come like what he can't beat up you're allowed to fucking kill vampires, you know.
So Buffy and Riley leave and you know they're talking about, you know, him being out patrolling and how, you know, he's, you know, stronger than he's ever been and all that. And we cut back to Spike still standing there where they left him, and he swears that he's going to kill Buffy and taste her blood, and he turns around and starts to walk away and falls right into an open grave.
Yeah.
And that's our cold open.
Oh yeah. Before I kick us into the episode proper, real quick question, because I forgot to ask it the last 2 weeks. So, and it's kind of off subject of what's happening right now, but I need to ask it while I'm thinking. How the fuck did Giles buy the magic box?
I never got the impression that he was like frivolous with whatever money he did have. So I would imagine he probably had some savings.
Okay. Because he also has a BMW now, and I'm like, where the fuck is Giles getting all this money? He hasn't had a job that we know of in what, 2 seasons?
3
seasons. So it's like,
well, no. Well, since the library blew up at the end of season 3, so yeah.
All of season 4, he didn't have I mean, and plus he had been shit canned by the Watchers, so he's not getting money from them either. And
I imagine he had some savings. He didn't seem like he was frivolous with his money, and who knows? He's a smart guy. He's probably got investments and whatnot.
Oh, you think he's got a portfolio?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he got in early on Microsoft?
Probably Xerox.
Okay.
Maybe right. Apple.
Okay. And he's, you know, maybe right now today he got in early on like Twitter and shit, and he made a fucking killing.
Oh yeah, he made bank. Bank.
All right on. I'm cool with that.
Did you see that fuckhead Elonia Musk sold X to another one of his own companies?
Yeah, it's all a corporate fuck job is all it is.
Oh yeah.
It's laundering money and moving money here and there and avoiding more tax. Don't get me
100%.
Anyway, the following day, Buff and Will are coming out of class. They're at school, and they're actually having a very academic argument about something, and Willow stops, and she's just so excited because she's like, "Oh my God, I'm having a debate with you about an academic subject," and she's like, "I've always wanted this to be a thing," and Buffy's just looking at her like, "You're a weird bitch." And, but yeah,
you're my weird bitch.
But you're my weird bitch, Will. And then she touches her on the lips, and she's like, "Shh. Stop talking. I'm tired of hearing you." Yeah. So, yeah. She's like, "Well, you know, you've really been doing a lot of studying, you know." Okay. She's like, "You've really been doing a lot of studying and whatnot." And Buffy's like, "Yeah, no shit, Sherlock." And she's like, "'Cause, you know, Giles is gonna, you know, beef up my schedule with extra training and whatnot." And I'm like, "Yeah, here we are in season 4, and we ain't seen any of that fucking happen yet."
Well, and the thing is, like, and she says it annoyed too, like oh, Giles is adding extra trainings to my. You fucking asked him to.
Yeah, you were like be my watcher again and fuck my world up.
Right, and you literally went to him and were like, "I need to know more about the Slayer lineage and heritage. Please help train me more." And now you're complaining about it?
She literally says, "Be my watcher again and train me more."
Right.
She's like, "This motherfucker, dude. He so is doing what I asked him to do, and it annoys me." And
How dare he do what I asked him to do?
yeah. So we cut to the magic box, and well, Buffy says to Willow, she's like, "Well, I gotta go train. Do you want to come with?" And Willow's like, "Yeah," and I'm thinking, why? Like, do you have no life at all? Like, you want to go watch her like beat up inanimate objects? But okay. So we cut to the magic box, and Xander's helping Giles do some remodeling in there, and he's building he's doing some carpentry, and it's pretty good work. And even Giles is like, "I've got to admit, I'm fucking impressed." And he's like, "I never knew you had it in you." And then the audience is like, "Yeah, we didn't either, because at no point ever in this show has it shown that Xander had an aptitude for carpentry, but now he's a he's like a grandmaster carpenter." He is now Norm Abram from Yankee Workshop. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but
yeah, no, because I have a life.
okay. So anyway, so Buffy and Will arrive, and this is where everyone else was already there. There's a knock at the door of the magic box, and Giles goes and has to unlock the door and let the girls in. But he does hold his hand out, and they have to pay a cover charge. It's really weird.
Right, and he stamps their hand.
Yeah, he stamps their hand that they're actually 21.
Right.
He wants to get them drunk. So
he's like, "It's about time."
Yeah, and he's all like,
Oh my
"Well,
God.
Are you ready to train?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, let's do this." And he starts taking his clothes off, and Buffy's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." And he's like, "I'm about to take you downtown to Asheville." And anyway, she follows him to this back room, and they go in, and it's enormous. It's bigger. It's like as big as the rest of the shop itself. And there's all this training equipment set up, and there's like a dummy over here to beat up on, which Xander runs in and says, I'm the dummy guy. And everybody's like, "Yeah, no." And he's like, no, I mean, I made the dummy. But it's a pretty cool place. It's pretty cool.
It is.
He's got the hookup here at this magic box. Big, huge storefront, giant murder dungeon in the back, or whatever you want to do in there. Not bad. So let's see. Where am I at? I'm sorry, I've lost my place. Oh, here we go. So we then cut to Spike's layer of debauchery, we'll call it. There's beatings at his door, and opens the door, and who is it? But it's Harmony. And I don't like this. I'm just going to tell you now, not a fan of this. It's like, anyway, I'll just do the scene. So it's Harmony, and she's all like, "Hey, you gotta help me. You gotta hide me and protect me, because Buffy's after me." And he's like, "What?" He's like he realizes, just like we do, like Buffy's not even thinking about Harmony, but
Right.
Harmony's convinced that she's after her because of her trying to kill her, and she's like, "Because she's like my arch nemesis now." And Spike's like, "Yeah, okay." So Spike, of course, takes full advantage of this, and she's like, please, I'll do anything." And he's like, "Anything?" And she's like, "Oh, you mean like have sex with you?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." So
I know.
I don't
was like, "What? Come on."
Yeah, I don't like this at all. So,
although to be fair, when we were doing contract negotiations, you were quick to agree to have sex with me if I came back.
That's true, but it was only if I was the top and it was hate sex. So just remember what you agreed to. Um, yeah, that's pretty much the end of that scene. I mean, it's just a gross.
Yeah, it gave me the ick. Yeah, I was like, why?
Especially after we just talked about I think it was 2 episodes ago of how happy we were to see Harmony's as a character, her move forward. She's got self-confidence now. She's the fuck away from Spike. She has an interaction with Spike, and she's able to basically tell him to go piss up a rope, and all that. And then now we're right back to gross Harmony Spike relationship kind of thing, and it's just like, ugh, no, 2 steps forward, 6 steps back. Anyway, then we cut to the Summers home, and Joyce is in the kitchen making breakfast. Well, Dawn, they're talking, and Dawn is pouring like 7 bowls of cereal, and as it's happening, I remember thinking, oh, she must be pouring one for each of them. Maybe Buffy's coming down, so I didn't give it much thought. And then Joyce she's like, how much cereal are you going to eat? And Dawn's like, oh, this isn't for eating. She just wanted the fucking toy out of the cereal. And dude, if I had did that as a kid, like my dad would have thrown me out the window and been like, are you out of your fucking mind? Anyway, but Joyce is actually making an omelet, and she's like, I'm not eating cereal anyway. I want, eggs. And so Joyce cuts the omelet in half, and she's like, all right, coming up. And she puts the omelets on plates, and Dawn's like, oh, and I want ketchup on mine. And which I'm thinking, then get your ass up and get fucking ketchup out of the refrigerator. Like,
right.
You're
right there next to the fucking refrigerator.
Yeah, it's like you're not 4. Get my mom would be like, "Oh, you want ketchup? Then get the fucking ketchup." Like what's happening? So but when Joyce turns around holding the 2 plates, she kind of goes, "Whoa." And then she looks at Dawn and she goes, "Who are you?" And then drops both plates and just collapses on the floor. And Dawn just jumps up and just starts stomping Joyce, just stomping the fucking guts out of her.
Right, and she's like yelling at her, angst, like, I told you I wanted fucking ketchup.
You bitch! You dropped my fucking omelet! Ah! And she's just fucking curb stomping her all over the kid. It's really unsettling.
It's yeah.
But anyway, no, Dawn runs and grabs the phone too.
Let me ask you something.
Okay.
If you went to a restaurant and you ordered an omelet, any kind of omelet,
okay,
would you expect an omelet to not have cheese?
No.
I wouldn't either. And yet this is a scenario I have encountered at several restaurants where you may think you're going to order so there's one restaurant we go to for breakfast, and you can get a bacon and fig omelet, and it's delicious. But you have to, but what, you don't like bacon?
Actually, no, I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't eat.
And I'm the Antichrist. You don't even like fucking bacon.
I don't eat filthy animals.
Wow.
Just saying.
Wow. So anyway, but the bacon and fig omelet as ordered doesn't come with cheese. Like, I have to order it with cheese. And I'm like, it's just weird to me. I would just assume an omelet.
The only omelet I could think of that I would expect to not have cheese is like a vegan omelet.
Yeah,
Like I can't. I'm honestly, I'm trying to think. Like I can't think of any other omelet that like that's kind of like a key ingredient in an omelet. Like it's eggs, cheese. That's the base of all omelets, unless it's like I said, a vegan omelet,
right. Yeah,
or maybe you're
it's
lactose intolerant. But this like egg and cheese is how you start every omelet.
one would think. One would think.
But
anyway, proceed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that up.
We're okay. Yeah. So Dawn actually runs over, grabs the phone, and calls 911 because Mama Joyce is having a syphilis attack and has passed. So the next thing we know, we're at the hospital, and Buffy and Riley arrive, of course. I guess Dawn would have rode in the ambulance with Mom to the hospital. She's already there, and they come in and she says, "What's going on? Is everything okay?" Blah blah blah. And then a doctor comes out, who Dawn introduces as Ben. Last name, he's Dr. Dover. First name Ben. And
I don't think he's even actually a doctor yet, though, is he? He's an intern.
Well, he says he's an intern, but I believe my sister could answer this better than me. I believe interns are medical doctors at that point, but you have to do like your internship, and I could be wrong though. I mean, I could be wrong. He's not an attending physician. He's an intern doctor, so he's there to learn, basically, I guess. But I do believe he's considered a doctor, but I've been wrong once or twice, so we'll call it that way.
Sure. Yeah, just once or twice.
Right. So Dr. Ben Dover begins telling Buffy and Riley what's going on, and it kind of fades out because Dawn has a stethoscope. He had given her his stethoscope, obviously trying to, have a rapport with a kid and calm a kid down and stuff. And so Dawn's going, it's so creepy. She's put the things in her ears and she's just putting the stethoscope on people. First the doctor, and then she puts it on Buffy, like on her boob. And I'm like, okay, that's creepy. And then she gets up and goes over to Riley and she's listening to his heart, but his heart is pounding like 730 beats a second. And she's like, even as a kid, she's like, that's probably not right.
That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right.
Because everybody else is like, you hear it and it's like, ta-tung, ta-tung, ta-tung. And then she gets to Riley and it's like, and she's like, what the fuck? And what she doesn't know, it's because he just did a whole bunch of blow in the car before they got there.
He did like 3 8-balls.
Yeah, just on the way to the hospital.
Just on the way to the hospital. So
he has a huge aversion to, he has the white coat syndrome. So even to go there for someone else, he's got to do an extreme amount of blow.
Right. He's got to go on a little snow trip before he can go to the hospital.
That's right. He's plowing snow before he's walking in the dough. That's all I'm saying. So the next thing we know, we cut to another scene, and Riley is putting his shirt back on. He's sitting on a gurney where a doctor has apparently done a checkout on him, checked him out, and is like, yeah, you can't leave here. And he's like, yeah, but I am. And he's like, you can't keep me here. And she's like, well, no, legally I can't. She's like, but your tachycardia is insane. Like your heart is about to explode in approximately 38 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And so,
right. She's like, in approximately 38 minutes. And he's like, well, it's a good thing then that we've still got 40 minutes left in the show and it's going to be solved in 35, isn't it?
Which by the way, spoiler alerts, the way it's solved blows my mind, which we'll talk about when we get there. yeah. So so finally the doctor's like, fuck it. Okay, fine. I give up. You want to fucking go die? Go die. I'm out. You don't even have Medicaid anyway, bitch. And so, which by the way, Riley probably doesn't have any form of health insurance whatsoever because he's no longer a military person. He has no job that we know of.
Right.
So,
And he's too old to still be on mommy and daddy's insurance.
Right, and they're back in Iowa, and Iowa insurance probably doesn't even work in California.
It's my understanding that nothing from Iowa works outside of Iowa.
Right, it only works in Iowa.
Including people from Iowa who go to other states. They just cease to function.
As soon as they get there, they freeze up in spot like a mannequin. And the only way to save them is to put their stiffened carcass into, a car and drive them back to Iowa. And then they're like, whoa,
back to Iowa.
What the fuck? And then you got to tell them, listen,
you can't leave.
Don't ever leave the state again. And so, yeah. Anyway, just a PSA for everybody out there. So of course Buffy's like, after the doctor leaves, Buffy's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, your heart, what'd she say? It was 150 something beats or whatever.
Gosh, I forgot to write it down. Yeah, it was an insane amount of beats.
It would be what you would expect from like, intense exercising or something, but not as a resting heartbeat.
Right.
So Buffy's like, what? And he's like, oh, it's fine. I'm made differently. And I'm thinking, what? No, you're not. You're just a regular person.
Right.
But he's like, I'm made differently. And all those years that the military was, and Dr. Walsh was feeding us those drugs and stuff. And it's just, I'm just different. And Buffy's not really buying it, but she's also like, my mom's here. Like, I ain't got time for all this shit, So the door opens and Mom and Dawn walk in, and Mom seems totally fine now. And she's like, yeah, tests are done. Everything seems to be fine. What did she say? She said they think, well, I know intern Ben had told them at one point, like, oh, we're thinking maybe like a blood sugar thing or something else. I forget, but he's like, we're pretty sure it's nothing major and yada yada. So, let's see. So, so they take Mom home, and they've got her like on the couch and like her pajamas and covered up and shit, and they're babying her, and Joyce is like, I feel completely fucking fine, and they're like, well, you're not, you're dying, so sit still. And Joyce is like, I don't wanna. So anyway, they end up up. I believe they're up in they're in Buffy's bedroom.
Yeah, they're in Buff's bedroom.
Well, Buffy, Willow, and Dawn, I should say, when I say they.
Right.
And they're talking, and she's basically talking to Willow about, the Riley situation and like what the fuck's going on with him and why he's so against believing anything could be wrong, and it's driving her crazy. She doesn't know what to do. And Willow's like, well, if it was, if you could somehow contact the initiative, then maybe, they could help. And Buffy's like, yeah, but they don't even exist anymore. And even when they did, it's not like they admitted that they existed. She's like, what am I going to do? Like, go into the White House and find a door that says secret government monster killers? And Dawn keeps popping up with insane shit, saying like, when they're talking about the government, she's like, what did she say? The government tried to assassinate Fidel Castro by giving him poison aspirin, and then
Right.
she pipes up
They tried to drive Castro insane by putting itching powder in his beard.
in his beard, yeah, and they just look at her like, and she's like, "What? It's about the government," and it's like, I don't know. Anyway, so something clicks with Buffy, and she's like, she thinks she might know. You can tell by the look on her face that she thinks she might know how to get a message to the initiative.
Well,
So-
it clicks with her because Dawn finally says something useful.
Well,
and
yeah.
she's basically like, well, if they're always listening, then you should ask for help where you know they'll hear it.
Yeah. So she grabs her stuff, like her coat and whatever, and she's like, "I'll see you guys later, bye."
Yeah.
And Willow's just like, she's like, "But I'm at your house."
Right. Guess I'm watching Donnie now. Okay.
What do I do? So Buffy fucks off as normal, and we cut to her in, and it's so weird, dude. She's in. Go ahead.
I'm glad you pointed this out because does Riley live in a storefront?
That is okay. Thank you. Fucking thank you. She walked this. Okay, we're inside of this, whatever it is. That's where the camera's at. And she comes in this door that looks like a door to a storefront, and the window looks like a storefront window, like one of those bay kind of pop out storefront windows. She walks into that, and you immediately can tell it's like someone lives there, and you put it together. Oh, this must be Riley's place, because there's like over to the side, there's the bed, like a little table and stuff. And then she walks up to like where there's like a TV and there's like a phone on top of the TV. And she picks it up and puts it to her ear, and you can hear clicking. So she's like, "Oh, okay. So they're tapped his phone. They're listening." And she just says, "Riley's in trouble. He needs help." And she hangs the phone up. Now that's the scene. But does Riley in fact live inside at the front portion of a fucking store on Main Street, Sunnydale? Like, what is happening?
No, and the answer is no. And I don't know why they designed it to look like that, but it's not a storefront on Main Street, Sunnydale, because if you look outside, because I did, you can see stairs that lead down to Riley's front door. So it's not a storefront, but why the fuck did they design it to look like a storefront?
And we only get one angle shot of the inside of it, but it appears to be even smaller than the basement that fucking Xander was living in with his mom and dad.
It's clear. It's like clearly his
own bathroom.
Like it's clearly a studio of some sort. Like whatever he's living in, it's a studio because his bed's right out there, like, and we don't see
a table, a TV, a phone. It doesn't even look like he's got his own bathroom. Like he's probably having a communal bathroom.
And like you said, we only saw that one angle of it, so you have to imagine that where we can't see, there's probably a small kitchen and maybe a bathroom. But the fact remains, why the fuck did they design it to look like a storefront?
Well, something tells me that it's reused set. It's got.
I'm sure it is,
and that's got to be the answer. But you would think they would have dressed up like where the obvious fucking storefront window is. Like maybe put like a drapery on that so you can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it would have cost like $5 to throw something up on that and maybe change up the door a little bit or something. But
I was just gonna say, in addition, like you could easily hide that storefront window with some dark drapes. End of story there. Replace the clearly storefront door with like a regular like storm door or something. A house door.
Because whose door that leads into their apartment is made of glass?
Right. Right. It's insane.
Yeah, it's almost like she should have walked in with one of those swinging push doors, like into the and it like goes ding dong to
Yeah.
let the front guy know you're there. It was, yeah. I thought when I watched that, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to bring this up because this seems like the kind of thing that James might not even give a fuck about, might not even pay any attention to. But I kept going, this is nuts. How does he live in a fucking store?
Right.
So anyway, we've now gone on about that.
Even Duncan's living space, like, and Tessa's living space at their storefront apartment was behind the store.
Wasn't in part of the store. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like they had a huge fucking like at least a 2-bedroom living area behind the store that was,
Right.
detached. Yeah, but Riley's living in the 7-Eleven, like inside of it. And also, since we're being nitpicky, which I love doing, you know that. How is Riley paying for this?
Again,
what is with the fact that no one ever works in this show except Xander? Xander is the only one who works in this show. Well, Xander and Joyce.
Right.
Like, that's it. No one else has jobs, but they always have money, cars.
And again, like Giles, I'll chalk it up to he's been good. He's been, because he's an older adult. He's been good with his money, maybe some investments. Okay, I'm fine with that. But everyone else, literally, like Riley, like, is he still living off? Is he living off military pension at this point?
I don't think he'd be getting a pension because he quit. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? Right.
And not just that, but there's no way he had enough years in to retire. He's just not old enough. There's no way. And so it's like, okay,
maybe, you know what? Here, I will add this to official headcanon. I would say it might be entirely plausible that the government gave him a sizable amount of money to keep his fucking mouth shut about the initiative.
Okay. All right. I'll ride that train with you. Although generally the government will just fucking kill you.
Right.
Like it's a lot cheaper to just put a bullet in your fucking head, but okay. All right. I'll ride that train with you because it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we can accept Riley and we can accept Giles, their situations, and I guess we can accept Buffy and Willow because they're probably on FAFSA. They've probably got student loans and shit. So we'll accept that. But I don't know. It's crazy because
Willow's parents are probably giving her some spending cash. Right. Joyce is probably giving Buffy some spending cash.
Right. And Buffy's dad, because he's a guilty absentee father. So he's probably writing her like $1,000 check a month. Like, here, honey, go buy yourself something.
The other one that I will give leeway to is Anya. Because
she's 1,000 years old, yeah.
Right. So let's assume
she probably opened a bank account in the 1700s.
Right. So let's assume she's been squirreling money away over the centuries.
Okay, maybe we're just overreacting then, because Tara, she's probably also got the student loans and shit, and
right.
Still, I would think that at least like Tara and Willow would have maybe at least like some part-time jobs, You
would think.
Like Buffy, she just can't because she's slaying, she's going to school, like she's full. But you would think Willow's lazy ass might get a job. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Like being a witch is not a job. You know what I mean? So. Is that covers everybody, right? That covers.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we know Xander works. He always has since high school. He's worked multiple jobs, but he's always worked.
Right.
Okay, that covers everybody. All right. I'm glad we discussed that because now moving forward, we can say, we can make jokes, be like, whoa,
Right.
Anya had to go to the demon bank and make a withdrawal from the ATM.
Right.
Anya makes the most sense, quite frankly,
Oh,
because she's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
old and,
Right.
she could have made money grow for so many years, that
Right.
fuck, Anya should be living in a goddamn mansion, honestly. But
Right. Right.
anyway, okay, I'm cool. I'll ride that train. Um, where am I? Here I am. Then we cut to a scene where Riley's playing some b-ball outdoors at a park, and he's pretty good, which is because Bupkis was actually a basketball player in real life.
Right. He was playing some basketball outside of his school when
Playing some b-ball outside of the school. A couple of guys, they was up to no good.
exactly they started making trouble in his
In the
neighborhood.
neighborhood. Yes.
I'm glad you caught on. I'm glad you caught on so quickly to what I was doing.
Yeah. Mark, what's his Blucas? Mark Blucas?
Lucas, yeah.
Mark Blucas, he played college for Wake Forest, college ball. He didn't make the NBA, but he went over to Europe and played semi-pro. He was actually playing semi-pro. He played his last semi-pro year in 2001. So he was actually still playing
While doing Buffy.
Wow. Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's why he was so good, because he's like dunking and shit. And I'm like, no way. And I'm like, oh yeah, he is like 8'3". So
He's a tall dude. He's a tall motherfucker.
Yeah. And so yeah, he did he's a good b-ball player. He pretty much wrecks the dudes he's playing against. And then he's kind of like he's going over to the water fountain to have which I don't know about you, but I've never been a water fountain guy. Like, I won't no. Like a public water fountain, fuck that. I will die of dehydration before I use a public water fountain. Just saying. You probably go over there and you're like,
I lick the spigot.
I bet you do. I have no doubt. You're just like, there's a big hawker on it, and you just like, you pick it off. You're just like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I look for people's discarded gum.
Yeah.
To chew it.
Like Elf.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like picking it off the bottoms of like railing and shit. And you're like, oh, it's free candy. Oh. No. Okay.
No, I'm not like, yeah, I mean, if I'm thirsty and there's a water fountain, I will use the water fountain.
Fuck that. Even when I was a kid in school, I would not use the water fountains, and I just wouldn't. It just seemed so disgusting to me. The thought of it, because you would see people drinking out of them, or I would, and they're just like, and it's like hitting their mouth and like going back all over the whole thing, and it's just coated in fucking somebody else's fucking grossness, and I'm like, fuck that. I will drink my own. I'll just keep swallowing my spit. Anyway, so he goes to the water fountain to get a shot of water, and who does he see? But there's Graham. We haven't seen Graham since he wasn't in the finale of. Was he in the finale of 4?
Yeah.
I thought he got like. Okay, I could have swore he got like KO'd or something in like the previous episode. Anyway, who cares? Graham's back. And he's like, this is Agent Moron, and this is Agent Dumb Shit. And we're here to basically force your ass to go to this surgeon. And Riley's like, I ain't going to no fucking military surgeon. And they're like, yes, you are, because otherwise you're going to fucking die. All the shit that Walsh did to us, gave us this adrenal blah, 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 blah bullshit. And we've all had to have this procedure or die. basically. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm not doing that. And they're like, yeah, we're going to make you. And then he proceeds to beat the shit out of all three of them. He only hits Graham once, but that's all it takes. Graham is done for that whole scene. He gets punched once and he is fucking done. I'm like, well, you're not much of like a
military guy.
Military, like special ops wet works guy, because every scene of every episode he's ever fought in, he's gotten his shit pushed in immediately. Just immediately. So, and then Riley bolts after he takes out the three agents, which are utterly pointless. So let's see. Okay, sorry.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
Here's a question: Is this UC Sunnydale that Graham comes to meet Buffy?
It looks like it. Yes,
that's what I
believe it. I believe it to be UC Sunnydale. Yes.
It's like she comes downstairs or whatever, and he's there at her college, and which they used to be at too when the initiative and all that. So she's like, "Oh, what up, yo? Long time no see, bitch boy. Did you get knocked out again?" Because his face is wrecked. Did you see the?
Yeah.
The shot, like, damn, that's some good makeup, but fuck, that was one hit, and this dude is wrecked.
It probably wasn't makeup. Blucas probably really hit him.
Yeah, because it's well known behind the scenes that Blucas hated that guy. And,
right. And also, I mean, it just makes sense since, as established in our first episode this season, Mark Blucas is just a stone cold killer. Straight up murderer.
Yeah, he's a straight up murderer. There's no question about that.
Right.
So he's there to tell Buffy basically what's really happened. Like this, the same thing he told Bupkis, really. Like, he's got to have this procedure or he's going to die, period. And Buffy's like, I fucking knew it. I knew some shit was up and yada yada. So Graham's like, all right, so you got to get him to this doctor. He's at Sunnydale General. He's on the, I think he says 4th floor, oncology or no, radiology. 4th floor radiology. He's there. He's waiting. All you got to do is get Riley to him. He'll fix. He'll surgery him up and fix him up. And so, Buffy's like, deuces, and she fucks off to go.
She's like, peace.
So
peace.
Where does she go first?
To fucking dude. Why hasn't this fucking dude moved yet? Like, fucking move, dude. Like, literally every 7 days, someone busts into your shit and fucks you up.
Or at the very least, humiliates him. So
right,
you know,
yeah, she shows up at Spike's, and she's because she ends up at Spike's because we did miss. There's a brief scene with Giles.
Yes,
and they're like, or it's Giles, Buffy, Willow. I forget, Tara might be there. I don't remember everybody that was there, but basically the gist of it is they're like, where could Riley possibly be? And Willow's like, well, Tara and I will go check out the old high school, which caught me off guard because they literally say, we'll go check out the burned out high school. Like, I'm sorry, when did we stop calling it Sunnydale High?
Yeah. And why is it still ruins at this point? We're like almost 2 years removed.
Right, like, why hasn't it been fucking torn down?
Yeah, at the very least, why hasn't it been leveled and cleaned up yet? you know.
Right. She's like, Tara and I will go check out, you know, the Sunnydale High, because he went there once. He hid there before. It might be homey to him. And then Buffy's like, or he, you know, what else might be homey to him? Like the initiative,
the place where he used to live. That was his home.
right? Right. His fucking storefront apartment.
Nobody thinks to go to his fucking house and just double check, you know.
Right. Let's just go. If he's not there, maybe he's taken up residence in like a Domino's, because that might make him feel like he's at home too. Or a dress shop.
a closed down Pizza Hut.
Right. And she's like, the initiative caves, and she's like, but you know, I don't know them that well, yada. And then Giles is like, well, we do know somebody who knows them like the back of his, what does he say, his melanin deprived hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she shows.
I want to ask something, and I'm not saying I'm right, and maybe I'm a complete idiot. When was the initiative caves?
So she says the initiative caves, but she obviously means like the caves, like that Adam was using for access to the initiative, like the secret parts of the initiative. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where like Adam.
We would go down there in the subterranean area. It was like full,
right?
You know, military built up walls, elevators, doors, like.
Right, but if you remember, Adam had taken up residence in caves that led directly into the initiative.
Residence. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what she's talking about.
All right.
But yeah, she shows up at Spike's crypt, and again, like dude, like every 5 days, someone shows up at your crypt and either rocks your shit or humiliates you. Like fucking move. Like
yeah.
Like,
at least move into a different mausoleum.
Right. That's all I'm saying. Like, you don't even have to leave Sunnydale if you don't really want to. I don't know why you wouldn't want to at this point, but at least move into a different mausoleum that no one knows about.
Yeah, there's like 38 graveyards in Sunnydale. Like, move to a different. At the very least, you're going to throw them off the trail for a day or so.
Right.
You know?
So yeah, she goes to Spike for help, and like she fills him in on what's going on with Riley, and she pulls out some money, and he then proceeds to like make fun of the situation with Riley and taunts Buffy, and she doesn't even hit him. She doesn't even do the dignity of fucking like jacking this guy in the nose or anything. She fucking bitch slaps him.
Which, by the way, I read some behind the scenes shit. This was a 100% real slap.
Oh, really?
He told her, he said, fucking bitch slap me for real. Like, just slap the shit out of me. And he goes, and she slapped the fucking shit out of me. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
So yeah, she slaps him, and she's like, you know, Riley's not the only one that can die, yada yada. And Spike makes a comment about how he thinks he'll take, since it's so important to her, he'll take half the money up front and then the other half after he's found Riley. And she literally tears the money in half and throws half of it at him.
I'd be like, I'm out. That's ruining money.
Right.
Yeah.
And he does peace out, because our next scene is Spike and Harmony showing up at the hospital and kidnapping the doctor that is supposed to be waiting for Riley.
Yep.
And then where are we after that?
Well, after that, we're in the initiative caves. and Buffy's wandering around with the flashlight. By the way, we skipped oh, maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing now. There's a little scene of Tara and Willow in the old high school ruins, whatever you want to call them, and it's real dark and shit in there, obviously, and they can't really see. And Willow's like, "Oh, I can fix that," and she grabs like this, like a jar of something out of her purse, and she's like, and throws it on the ground, and it like explodes and just illuminates the whole fucking place. And she's like, "There we go." And Tara's like, what the fuck? How did you do that? She's like,
"Ho, is you a witch?"
Yeah. And she's like, "Well, you taught me." And Tara's like, "Well, I taught you the tiny little Tinkerbell light thing." And she's like, "Well, it's the same thing. It's just I modified it." And blah, blah, blah. I don't know what else she says. And
she says, "I tinkered with the Tinkerbell light."
Yeah, and she's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Besides, isn't this a lot better? I mean, what kind of doofus would be walking around here with a flashlight?" And then we cut to Buffy walking around the caves with a flashlight. And she's just walking around
because the writers hate their main character.
And yes, they do. And she's just going, Riley, come out. Riley, come out here right now, Riley. And I'm like, what if he's not there? Then you're just walking around in caves.
At one point, she starts whistling and like snapping her fingers for like, Riley, Riley,
come here. I got treats. And then she just kind of goes around this little curve, and there he is. He's just there in the dark, by the way, like pitch black dark, but he's there, and he's punching like the wall, like the rock wall.
Punching the solid rock wall, yeah.
Yeah, and he's all like, "This, it doesn't even hurt." And she's like, "Your hand's bleeding." And he's like, "Yeah, but you didn't hear me. It doesn't hurt." And she's like, "Yeah, but your hand's bleeding." And he's like, "Dude, if you say that one more fucking time." And then she's like, What, bitch? You want some of this? I'm the motherfucking Slayer. And no. So, no, he's like, "It doesn't hurt." And then they have this back and forth, which again, Sarah Michelle, dude, how the fuck she is able to her acting ability blows me away sometimes in certain scenes, like, because they're having this real deep emotional argument basically about how, what are you going to just let yourself fucking die? And then it comes out that, well, because he's afraid that she needs a super person in her life and not just a regular person. And she's like, "What, you think so fucking little of me to think like that's," she's like, if I needed a super person, I would be dating Spike." What? So, dude, she's delivering these fucking emotional, deep expositional lines, and like her eyes are glassing up, and she gets me every time she does an emotional thing like this. Like, she fucking gets me every time because I believe it. I'm like, God damn.
Oh. Yeah, yeah. We've talked about this so many times in those kinds of scenes. Like, she's so great at emoting.
Oh boy,
that kind of shit.
Yeah, she gets me every time. I'm like, oh, I just want to hug her and cuddle her now and say it's okay.
And that's what makes those scenes. Aside from the fact that if the writers are doing their job, we as viewers should care about the characters and the relationships. So aside from that the writers do their jobs well, she is able, like I said, like, she is able to emote so well, and that, like you said, it feels real. Like, you believe that she is sad in these moments or whatever,
Like, so. I don't know what she uses mentally to bring herself to, but god damn, does it work. and it's just so fucking good. But anyway, so she finally breaks through his rock hard fucking brain and gets him to realize that, you know, he's got to do this. And so finally he's like, okay, take me to him, the doctor guy. And she's like, you know what? No, fuck it. No, I'm not taking you, asshole. Fuck you. And
you can just fucking die now. You just fucking die.
You fucking sit there and you die and you think about what you've done. Okay. And so she does. She brings him to the hospital. And when they get there, what do they discover? But the doctor is gone. There's a big fucking mess. Clearly some shit has happened. And she pretty much she's like, is it her? No, maybe it's, or is it? Okay. Because Graham and the guards have been KO'd in order for Spike and Harmony to take the doctor.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that when I mentioned that Spike and Harmony showed up at the hospital to kidnap the doctor. They KO'd Graham and the guards.
Yeah.
Too,
so just at just the right time, Graham awakens just as they arrive, and they're like, "What happened?" And he's like,
How the fuck should I know? I was knocked out."
Yeah. Bupkis holds up. He's like, "How many fingers am I holding up?" He's got 2 up, and Graham says 17, and I was like, "Wow." He's like, "Hostile 17. He was here with some blonde woman," and Buffy's like, "Fucking Spike and fucking who's the blonde woman? She must be some whore. I don't know."
Yeah, she's like, "Fucking Spike and some fucking bottle blonde whore."
Yeah, who is this?
Who could this? Do I know any blonde whore? Mom?
Was it my mother, Graham?
Was it my mom, Graham?
You fucking tell me.
You tell me right now, Graham. You tell me, you son of a bitch.
We need help.
So
they're like, okay, we got to figure out where they would go do this at. They're not going to do it here. It would be too easy to get caught. How do they end up deducing where they are? I kind of forget that part, honestly.
It must not have been memorable because I don't remember exactly how they did it either.
Yeah, somehow they deduce where they are, and Riley and Buffy show up there. There was a scene where they were like manhandling the doctor and basically threatening the shit out of the doctor. I'm talking Spike and Harmony here. You know, saying, "You're going to fucking do this. You're going to take this goddamn chip out of my goddamn fucking head." And there's like Harmony sitting back there watching the fucking surgeon do this shit, and she's like smoking a cigarette, and she's like, "Ooh, look at the wriggly brain stuff," and all that. There's some funny stuff in there.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I see it. And you hear him pull it out and drop it into the, one of those medical things, and he's like, "There, I've got it. It's done." And Spike's like, "Fuck yeah, brah." He's like, fucking sew me up. I got some shit to do." So the doctor sews him up, and as he's sewing him up, Spike says, "Well, I'm starving. I'm going to have a bite to eat." And so the doctor's like, "Fuck." And I'm like, "Yeah, what'd you expect, dumb shit?" And just then Buffy and Riley show up. And Spike is super fucking excited about this because he's got the fucking chip out of his head. Now he can finally be himself. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, motherfuckers." And he goes vamp face, and so does Harmony. And then a big fight ensues. There's karate fighting going on everywhere.
Was everybody kung fu fighting?
Everybody was kung fu
fighting.
They were fast as lightning. And then mid-fight, Riley has a heart attack. And at that point, Spike realizes This chip's not out because he goes to try to bite Buffy, and it zaps him, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And he looks over in the fucking in the metal bowl, and there's a penny there. And the doctor's like, "I fucking told you I couldn't do it." And he's like, "Damn you!" And, so him and Harmony fuck off while Buffy's tending to Riley. And she and the doctor get Riley up, apparently. Okay. Here we are now. We're at that point where I said we'd discuss it when we got there. All right. I don't want to make this a long thing, but he's had a heart attack, collapsed unconscious. They get him up. They put him on this gurney. The doctor does 10 or 15 minutes of surgery. He's got a little bandage here on his chest, a little thing wrapped around his leg. He's all better. It's all done. Finished. Good to go. Brand new man. No problem. Utterly ridiculous. Drives me crazy. But
I think I would like. I agree. Like, I think it's ridiculous. I feel like I would feel less ridiculous about it if they actually told us what the fuck they did.
Yeah. Or if it was like they used magic to somehow fix, then okay, no problem. Boom, it's done. No problem. But it's like, it's not like they were saying, okay, you got to get him to this doctor here at the hospital, 4th floor, radiology. He has an injection of this stuff they've created in the lab that'll fix the damage that's been done. No problem. But not only did this man just suffer a massive heart attack and lose consciousness, like somehow that was just magically fixed. Like no one had to resuscitate this motherfucker or anything. They just picked him up and put him on the gurney, and this doctor went, and he's all good. And he's got this tiny little bandage on his chest, and that's it. They don't talk about it any further. Riley literally just says, Harry says it like, good as new, back to normal, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. They're like, yay! And then they hook arms and they skip out of there, and the doctor's like, I'm coming too. And I don't know, whatever. Let's see. Then Riley runs into Graham, who tells him, "You have no purpose in Sunnydale. Why are you staying here? You big nerd." And he's like, "Well, because of her." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's never going to be enough. You should be with us." And Riley's like, "You're right. Let's fuck off." And they just leave. And we never see Riley again. No. Then we cut to a scene where you hear like pounding. We're in Spike's crypt again, because again, motherfucker won't move. He's not even going to attempt to hide after almost costing Riley's life and attempting to murder them. He's not even going to bother hiding. He's like, fuck it, I'll just stay here. And so she drop kicks his door in as normal, and she's like, I've had it. I'm done. You're just a motherfucker. You're always going to be a motherfucker. So she whips out the steak, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it, because you're haunting me. I can't escape you. You're there everywhere. He'd also taught Harmony this stuff earlier in a brief little scene that he's just sick of the fucking Slayer. She's always there. She haunts us every step. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, fucking leave Sunnydale. The Slayer is only in Sunnydale. You could literally go 15 miles to the next town over, and you would never see her again. What the fuck? Anyway, so he's like, fuck it then. Yeah, fuck it. I don't even care. Just kill me. And he rips off his shirt, and he's just like, kill me. Which, by the way, I think that was a bad call to have him rip his shirt off, because you can clearly see his farmer's tan, right? I mean, it's like it's really fucking like on Front Street, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think a vampire would have a farmer's tan. It might not have been a good call. Anyway, so he's like, fuck it, you know, kill me then. And then she's like, she's hesitating and shit, and then he grabs her, and they just start fucking kissing, and there's and she's like tweaking his nipples, and he's like, oh, and then she pulls back, and she's all like fucking in shock and like holding her mouth and stuff, and but then she walks back up to him, and they start going at it again, and she's like, I want you, and he goes, I love you, Buffy, I love you so much, and then he like jerks awake, and he's
yeah, he does.
he jerks awake. No, he jerks awake, and he's actually sleeping there with Harmony, and he's like, oh God, please no, and boom, credits.
Yes. So some more behind the scenes stuff. In addition to what you've already mentioned, this is the last appearance of the original Sunnydale High School.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because is it this season, later this season, or next season when we see the rebuilt school?
It's actually not till season 7.
Oh shit! Really? Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Let's see. What else did I have? Oh my God, Mouse! Why are you going crazy? Calm the fuck down, buddy. Come on. Let's see.
Now, do you think that this Buffy Spike thing is going to go anywhere, or is just like crazy stuff?
Man, I hope not. I hope it's just
I don't think
crazy Spike bullshit. So we kind of touched on it in last week when we said that this episode kind of sets some threads for stories. Obviously, it kind of sows the beginning seeds of some developments for Riley this season. Obviously for Spike, with that end scene. But it's also kind of the beginning of Willow's overuse of magic when not strictly necessary. And you can see it in that scene. Tara's not entirely comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And Willow's attitude.
It seems like she's also a little concerned with how what's the word? How quickly Willow is gaining power.
Right.
She's like, whoa, like,
and not to give too much away, but that'll be a growing thing throughout the
remainder of the show.
Yeah.
There's a couple of other threads that are laid out in this episode.
Such as, please.
We meet a character who's going to be.
Oh, right. We were introduced to intern Ben.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. He is gonna play a significant role going forward. I think we see him in every episode after this. Actually,
there's another thread that's tickled in this episode.
Joyce's health problems. Yes,
a situation with Joyce. So.
Yes, which will be an increasing storyline throughout this season. So it's taken 4 fucking episodes, but we're starting to get some threads opened up for us.
At least we're getting some threads,
Well, and here's the thing, though, too. We only know they're threads because we're not first-time viewers.
Yeah. As first-time viewers, you'd be like, wow, another episode of Nothing Burger.
Right, exactly. I did think it was interesting that Riley's speech to Buffy in this episode was almost the inverse of Angel's speech to Buffy when he broke up with her.
Yeah.
Like, Riley is convinced that Buffy doesn't need just a normal guy, whereas Angel's concern was that Buffy deserved and needed a normal person, a normal guy.
So basically, two different men have decided to tell Buffy what she wants and what she needs.
Yes.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
I mean, it's a par for the course with our gender, I'm sad to say.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
yes,
would you like to play everyone's favorite game, Body Count?
Okay.
Tell me, how many bodies this episode?
I'm gonna go off the rails. Okay. I'm gonna say 0.
4.
What?
2 vampires dusted by Buffy, 1 by Riley, and the security guard that was killed by Harmony. Our music this week, Nickelback with Breathe, and of course, Thomas Wanker with our original score.
Thomas Richard Wanker.
Tommy Dick Wanker.
Tommy Richard Wanker.
Tommy Dick Wanker. Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
Would you please tell me, on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, how many Tinkerbell lights do you give this episode?
Well, this would have been normally... There's one scene... Okay. It's a 3. All right? It would have been a 2, but that scene with Sarah Michelle and her just owning, emoting again, and just owning the scene, it gives it an extra point. That and the fact that we do get threads finally that are leading us into a bigger overall story.
Right.
So it's going to get an extra point for that. Otherwise, it would have been a 2 because honestly, the rest of the episode to me is absolute horseshit. It's so dumb. Like, okay, now all of a sudden, after all these months that have passed, Riley's having these health things with, like, just all of a sudden out of nowhere. And like we've already discussed, the fact that the whole scene of him being fixed was fucking stupid, and it was just like, here, we put a Band-Aid on you, you're good. And that was stupid. This honestly, this episode is horseshit. Other than the little threads we got for the future, excuse me, and that awesome scene with Sarah Michelle, and yeah, I'm sticking to it. Otherwise, this episode is just horseshit, just unnecessary horseshit that they didn't even bother. Like you said, they could have at least told us what they were going to do. Like, why couldn't they have just had a scene where, like, they pick Riley up when the doctor and she are picking Riley up from his heart attack, like off the floor, and then it cuts. Why couldn't we have just cut to another scene, which could have been like the next day, and Riley's in a hospital bed with some equipment on him. He's had this surgery. They've dealt with the heart situation, and they're like, well, you're going to have to stay for a few days and recuperate. And like, then that would have taken care of everything. It would have been realistic, but no, they went the stupid route, which just aggravates me. So yeah, it's a horse shit episode with threads that are cool and that great scene. And that's all I got to say about that. So, James.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell us, on our sliding scale of 1 to 5, How many ridiculous surgical scenes do you give this episode? And give us your final thoughts.
I give this episode 3 ridiculous surgical scenes. I don't dislike it as much as you do. I think it's a decent episode. It gains a point again because of SMG and just her acting in those kind of scenes. It loses a point because of the blatant like hand waving of Riley's medical issues, and it's we're out, we're done, it's all over. So it's a 3. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think there's anything terribly wrong with it outside of that Riley thing, you know. I liked that it kind of it I don't want to say tied up some threads, but it did kind of harken back to some threads that had been laid down back in season 4. Like, you know, we got a, you know, initiative callback, and, you know, Riley's condition being related to what he went through at the initiative. We got Graham back, who I've always liked Graham as a minor character, so I wasn't upset to see him back again. He was definitely a better character than Forrest.
Yeah, I'm glad they killed Forrest off.
So, but yeah, and you know, not being a first time watcher, it does get some leeway because, you know, I do know that it's planting some seeds for some major, you know, storylines that are going to play out, you know, through the rest of the season and the series. So for all those reasons, I give it a 3. And that's that.
All right then. So we basically agree. I mean, more or less.
Yeah.
You're not as bothered by it as I am. Like, but you know, it's what it is. It's
yeah. I mean, honestly, for me, for an episode to be less than a 3, it's got to be like
yeah,
man,
like, it's got to be
like,
pretty.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty. Well, hey James, what happens if you go to BuffyRevisited.com?
You'll see my nipples.
Okay. Hang on. I need to pull this up. Go ahead.
You don't have. I'll show you right now if you want.
Whoa. This is a PG rated program.
Oh.
Except for everything we do and say is like X-rated. But
I believe if you go to BuffyRevisited.com, it'll give you our email address, which is BuffyRevisited@gmail.com. It'll also give you a link to our Facebook and our YouTube, where you can go and leave us comments at either of those places, or email us your comments. An added bonus of going to the YouTube page is, you're not going to believe this, Jeremy.
Yeah.
You will be able to watch the video version of this very podcast right now.
As it's happening right now?
Right now.
Wow. Okay. My brain can't even put that together.
Yeah, it's insane. Technology, man.
Wow.
It's
boom.
It's indistinguishable from magic at times, as Thor has said.
It's gypsy magic. Because as we all magic must be gypsy magic.
Sure, why not? Okay. Hey Jeremy,
yeah.
What are we going to be talking about next week?
Next week we are going to high dive into Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 5, episode 5. No place like home.
Like Blurt's Crib? Oh wait, no, that's a different show, a different season. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, also No Sleep Till Brooklyn, but
No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Okay, sorry. No Place Like Home will be next week's show. So, thank you everyone for joining us this week. And we look forward to joining you again next week. And hopefully none of us have to see James's nipples. With that being said,
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that want to see my nipples.
okay, keep thinking.
Leave us comments. Send us emails if you want to see my nipples.
I've been one of your hosts. I'm Jeremy.
I'm your other host, James.
Ta-ta.